What is going on, you guys? I'm VM Video Master, and welcome to the continuation of our Jeff the Killer story. Now, in the last one, if you've been following the live streams, Jeff had just buried the hatchet with his brother Lou and his sister Lena. And it's the night before his wedding, and he's 100% nervous. So let's see what Jeff, Emma, and his siblings are up to today. The ceremony ended to quiet laughter, tears, and applause. Emma's hands were still shaking as Jeff leaned in, pressing his forehead to hers. "You okay?" he whispered. She laughed softly. I don't think I've stopped laughing or smiling. As guests began moving toward the reception area, Jeff didn't let go of her hand. "Wait," he said. The music faded, conversation slowed, and people turned back curious. Emma looked at him. "Jeff?" He took a breath, deep, steady breath. "There's something I need to do," he said, his voice calm but full. "I've taken a lot in my life. I've broken things I can never fully fix. But you," his thumb brushed her knuckles, "you gave me a future to look forward to." Someone handed him a guitar. He hadn't asked for it, but Lena smiled like she'd planned it all along. Jeff glanced at Emma. "This isn't for everyone," he said quietly. "It's just for you, Emma." He began to play soft, simple chords. His voice wasn't perfect. It didn't need to be. "I was a ghost. I was a flame, burning everything I touched. Then you saw me standing there and didn't turn away." Emma covered her mouth, tears spilling freely. "I've worn 1,000 names, tried to outrun what I'd done. But when you said you'd stay, I finally stopped running." Jeff's eyes never left hers. "Till the dark comes back someday, and the world remembers who I was, I'll stand right here, I won't break, 'cause I am yours, and that's enough." The final chord faded into silence. For a moment, no one clapped. Emma stepped forward instead. She wrapped her arms around him, burying her face in his shoulder, as he held her like she was the only thing keeping him grounded. "I love you," she whispered. Jeff kissed her hair. "Every version of me loves you." The applause came then, soft at first, then full and warm, but Jeff barely noticed at all. All that mattered was Emma in his arms, smiling through tears, knowing that for the rest of his life, he would choose her, and he would never run again. Now the next part was is about the first dance of husband and wife, which was Jeff and Emma. The lights dimmed slowly, warm and golden. Emma stood in the middle of the room, still a little overwhelmed, when Jeff reached for her hand again. This time there was no hesitation in him, no shadows pulling him back. "Dance with me," he said. She smiled. "I thought you hated crowds." "I don't hate this crowd," he replied quietly. "Not when it's you." The music began, slow, gentle, almost shy. Jeff pulled her close, one hand resting carefully at her waist, the other laced with hers like he was afraid to let go. They didn't move perfectly. They didn't need to. Emma rested her head against his, listening to his steady heartbeat. Slow, steady, human, and real. "I never thought I'd have this," Jeff murmured. "A normal moment, a normal life." Emma looked up at him. "It doesn't have to be normal. It just has to be ours." His jaw tightened for a second, emotion flickering across his face. He leaned down and kissed her, slow, tender, nothing like the darkness he used to know. Around them, people watched quietly. Lou stood near Lena, his arms crossed, but this time there was no anger in his eyes, just acceptance. Jeff noticed, and for the first time, the past loosened its grip. Later that night, as the world was quiet, Emma sat on the edge of the bed barefoot, still wearing the ring like she was afraid it might disappear. Jeff stood near the window watching the city lights like they were something new. Are you okay? She asked. He turned to her and nodded. Yeah, just thinking. She patted the space beside her. Come here. And he did. Jeff sat down slowly, then rested his forehead against hers, like he always did when he wanted to feel grounded. I spent years believing I didn't deserve peace, he said, or love, or a future. Emma touched his cheek. And now? And now? He said, his voice steady. I choose it every day with you. She smiled and her eyes shining. Good, because you're stuck with me. He laughed softly, an actual laugh, and pulled her into his arms. Outside, the night moved on. Inside, Jeff the killer was gone. Only Jeff remained. A husband, a man choosing love, and a future finally worth keeping. Well, you guys, let me know what you think of the story so far. Because it seems our own Jeff the Killer is not Jeff the Killer anymore. He is Jeff, you know, he's just Jeff. And it seems like he's finally made peace with his brothers and sisters. So tune in next time. Because, like I always say, fear finds everyone, and eventually it'll find you. And I'll see you in the next video.